See, you already know. We got I don't know what champion that is, but he's here. We got we got Kenny over there in Miami, rolling loud, doing it big out there. Oh, I asked for my water. Haven't got it yet. Where's my water? Thank you so much. Appreciate it. You can take off now. Thank you. Appreciate you being here. Gotta make sure my water's all set when we're ready. So let's just get into it. Oh, we appreciate y'all, supposedly. If you subscribe, if you comment, if you like the video, all that good ass, the Patreon gang, the Cash App gang, all that ish. You know what I mean? It's whatever. If you do it, you do it. If you don't, you don't. It's cool. So let's talk about it. Big signing, supposedly. Kenny, lead us in.
I caveat first of all saying that the rumors are pretty strong, but one of the biggest things that the indicator for us to know is WWE is treating like these signings are true. So as far as they're concerned, Daniel Bryan is signed with AEW, and CM Punk said when he left, it takes a couple things for him to come back: great stories and a fat load of cash. Got a couple places with a fat load of cash. AEW is the best stories, so I'm saying that's where he's gonna land. We've been working towards a return, so we're gonna talk about it. Do some fantasy booking a little bit, seeing if we think they fit AEW best, or maybe I'm hearing other rumors that Daniel Bryan part of the reason why he wants to sign with AEW is because he used to be with New Japan. It's very big for him. He wants to. So got that. So we can talk about potential G1s. We can do a lot of things. I think we should start with CM Punk. He's been way longer, bigger. Something we keep hearing rumors about every Royal Rumble we pop around and CM Punk come back. And, so the next AEW pay-per-view is in Chicago, where CM Punk is from. So a lot of people saying they had a debut there, debut on the Rampage before that. That's when Rampage is gonna be starting. So let's talk about that.
Yeah,
CM Punk.
next time we're going to get you back in the room because you mad choppy out there.
Aha.
You're going in and out. So I know the fans caught half of what you said. But basically, to read some of what he said is the rumors seem true about Daniel Bryan and CM Punk, mostly Daniel Bryan because WWE is acting like they do. Supposedly, they sent out memos to take him off all the video games, all the WWE trademarks, all the dolls that are being going forward in 2022 and onward. So, when WWE acts petty like that, it's a pretty good chance that that's a wrap. Plus, we already heard that Daniel Bryan said he wanted to wrestle other people like Kenny Omega and other shit in New Japan. Supposedly, his contract said that for him to sign, he wanted to be able to have less dates, same amount of money, but be able to go to New Japan, Ring of Honor, shit like that. And supposedly, obviously, no Tony Khan is going to meet those requirements. So I would definitely think that's a done deal. Supposedly, he's supposed to be dropping in New York, which would be a great show because obviously WWE has always been the landmark for Madison Square Garden, New York, and now AEW seems to have a good strong arm on that in a different location. I forgot what the location is, but it's not Madison Square Garden, but it's definitely a different location. But it would be good to have a slam dunk bringing Daniel Bryan there. That'd be a big splash. So, Jerry, what do you think about that?
I mean, you get a bunch of dream matches that you've been dreaming about as a wrestler for years with Daniel Bryan going to AEW. I mean, the possibilities are endless, honestly. I mean, you have talent there. Like, what's Aleister Black's, what's he going by now?
Malachi Black?
Malachi Black. Like, Malachi Black, Daniel Bryan. Yeah, you could get a Daniel Bryan, Chris Jericho, of course. Get a Daniel Bryan, Cody Rhodes, Daniel Bryan, Kenny Omega. You could have all types of beefs. I mean, imagine like a Daniel Bryan, Orange Cassidy fight.
Yeah.
Like, there's just, the possibilities are endless with Daniel Bryan because he is a great wrestler through and through, and he could tell a story.
You get Hangman Page. You get Hangman Page. You get Andrade.
Yeah.
You get Andrade.
Oh, yeah.
You got Pac, which is AKA Neville. You still got Hardy. You still got Christian. You got Jungle Boy. Like possibilities are endless there. How big of an impact? Obviously big, right? It's because he still has a name. He can still wrestle.
Well, see, I have a negative feeling though about it, to be honest.
All right, let's go.
And the reason for that is it's going to be a big splash when it happens. It's the shock or whatever. It's going to be great for a little bit. What's going to happen is, and I got told Kenny the other night, I feel like AEW is so saturated with talent. They have so much talent. I don't know how you could fit all of them into one show, into one pay-per-view, into like one brand. It doesn't make sense. They have so many people and so many stories that they could be doing. There's going to be a lot of people left out with the more people their side, especially big names like Daniel Bryan.
Well, I think that's why they got the second show, the Rampage. I think they're making these moves because they know that they're about to have so much TV time now that they have to fill. Because let's be clear, if you didn't have these big signings like Malachi Black, Andrade, Miro, or Daniel Bryan, CM Punk, going forward with Rampage, who the hell are you going to put on there? Because we're still trying to figure out who the new people are.
True.
So they'd have a show with pretty much nobody on there. But now that we have the extra people like Miro and like I just said, and now Lance Archer won, so that's a new story to tell. Like now we have different. So essentially, they're going to have a Monday Night Raw and a SmackDown on their brand now. Rampage and Dynamite.
How long is Rampage?
I think Rampage starting is probably going to be an hour. Yeah.
Yeah, right. That's still not a lot of time. Like, I just feel like it's going to be really tough on AEW when it comes to making sure everybody gets some type of something.
Well, there's the thing about it, right? So they got rankings. The rankings help a lot. So yeah, the rankings tell you who can get a shot at the belt, but you got to have matches to win those rankings. And sometimes you see the rankings change, and it's because somebody won on Dark or Elevation, which again, they don't push the stories as much. Those are they have Dark and Elevation for two reasons. One, to keep the records moving in certain directions, but I'm going to tell you that story every week on their main show. But also, it's because they got a lot of young guys, like you said. So that's how they get their ring time, because they weren't house shows for a while. So that was their version of house shows. They were doing that. But now they're going to go back on the road. They're going to do Dark and Elevation before regular shows. Have those dark matches in the days in between. So I think they'll find a way to fit it. I know a lot of people, you don't see them every week. They'll tell a story this week. A lot of stories, they seem to do that I've noticed. It's like one story is this week, the other story next week, then you go back to that story. They go on and off, which isn't bad because it's not that much time being passing it. You got 4 pay-per-views on top of that. So as long as the stories get there, I don't know. I think 2 more signings is not that big of a deal as far as the roster size. What stories they're going to give them make a very big difference. I don't. With names like that, you want to say the upper card is pretty full by itself.
Yeah, I wish you weren't so choppy because you have a lot to say right now. It's important, but you going like in and out, choppy. What you call it?
Miami Beach.
But I try to re-say what you said again. Basically, they have a lot of stories. They still have the Dark and Elevation that they use, which is like NXT for them, without being the big crowd and the big TV spot. So that makes sense. With the new talent and the 2 new shows, with the 2 shows, obviously, we're getting more belts too. We're getting the triple belts, which is good. We still have the tag team belts. Do they have a women's tag team? I'm pretty sure they don't, right?
They did the women's tag team tournament, but the champion wasn't named anything.
So eventually they'll have that, more stories to tell with another show. Then you still have the women's, you still have the men's, you have Miro's TNT, you have Lance Archer's shit, but it's probably going back to New Japan because I'm pretty sure that's why he lost, because it's going back to New Japan. But
I guess you could cheat the FTWs. That's not it.
I'm trying to think of the
Now they
FTW.
talk about it.
I don't like the FTW. I feel like it's a hardcore title. I feel like it's just is useless. But if they redesign it and like remix it, I think it would be a great belt to have another belt. Because I think they do need another belt, at least one more, like some IC shit or some European shit. Like they need another belt. There's too many players over there. And then let's be clear about what JJ was talking about. Tony Khan is an historian. Like he loves wrestling. Like everyone that's come into the league, like Jericho and Rhodes and Christian, have all said the same thing. He would tell you matches that you didn't even think he remembered or they knew.
Oh yeah, he's a massive wrestling nerd.
So I'm pretty sure he knows what he's doing. That he's not making another WCW. He's not making something to fall. So if he signed him, it's for a reason. Like I have full faith in what Tony's doing. At least his track record has proven to be pretty dope now anyway. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think he's gonna do something for it to fail. So I'm pretty confident in what he's doing.
Well, see, not to cut you off, but I'm not worried about Daniel Bryan and CM Punk getting their, their story time.
Yeah.
My worry is that other wrestlers end up on the back burner. Now, like what Kenny said, the rankings do help because you don't forget about people because they'll be on the dark shows, and and they'll be getting boosts or they'll be getting lowered. They'll be getting there's some type of movement in their career. But like I said, if Rampage was like an hour and a half or like maybe 2 hours, I would feel a lot more confident. Now with an hour, maybe they could pull it off. Like you said, homeboy knows his stuff. But for me, it's just I just gotta see. It's just so much talent, and I could see how hard it is to make sure everyone gets their time. Like when me and Kenny went to that AEW here in Miami, we got there. We got to our seats like at 7:05, right? Started at 7, and we missed half of Matt Hardy's match. Like for me that was huge. I'm like, I'm like 10 feet away from Matt Hardy. Like it was a big deal, but it's like, 10 minutes at 7:00 before the 8:00, like it goes live. It's just,
we also got to remember.
Like
we also got to remember AEW is what 2-3 years old.
No, yeah.
Like they're still figuring shit out. You know what I mean? But with Daniel and CM Punk, Daniel is probably going to go off to. I don't even know who would probably go off. He'd probably start off with like maybe a Malachi. I think Malachi's already with Cody Rhodes, but maybe that'll finish in time. So he'll probably go straight to either Cody or Malachi. So we're not worried about him. He's not going into the championship already. Hangman Page is doing that. Hangman is probably going to take it from Kenny, I would imagine. So that feud is already happening. Then Punk. I don't know who Punk would come in on because I don't know what match would make sense. I guess maybe Kenny, because if Kenny loses, then Kenny's open for a match. So Punk would probably make sense for Kenny. It's a big shot. But other than that, I don't see Punk coming in to be like a star there. I think he's coming in to do a couple of matches and he's out.
Yeah.
He's basically there to get the wow factor. He's going to give us some dream matches and he's out. He's not going to be on the roster for 3-4 years. I don't see that happening. You might get a Kenny fight from him. You might get a Daniel Bryan fight from him. You might get I don't think so, Andrade, but you might get like one of the new dudes over there. You might get one of those guys, and then he'll probably be out.
Cowboy fight.
Yeah, like that's about it. Daniel Bryan will probably be there for a little bit. They'll figure him out because Daniel Bryan isn't the type of dude that needs the belt. I could see him being the AEW champ, but he doesn't need the belt. So I don't see. Basically, what I'm saying is, with the other corporations, you get new talent, and then it's like they give them a title shot off rip. It's like, fuck, come on, man. Like there are other people waiting. I don't see that happening with Daniel Bryan and CM Punk.
Yeah, nah.
But they're gonna come in, they're gonna do their spots, and we're still gonna get the other storylines that. You know the meme. Have you seen the meme about who's the third guy?
Yeah.
They have CM Punk and Daniel Bryan as Kevin Nash and Scott Hall. And then they go, who's the third guy? I find it so funny. Like, what if the third guy? It wouldn't be, but what if the third guy was Brock?
No way.
Because it has to be.
He's a free agent. He's still a free agent.
If it is a third guy, which there isn't any indication that there is, but if there was, it would have to be a huge signing, like bigger than Punk, bigger than Daniel Bryan. So, and I can't say Braun.
How about?
I can't say Braun because Braun is being sucked off by WWE now because now they know that they fucked up. But
yeah, they put his merch back online and shit.
Someone put it on. Someone put it on the Facebook.
How's Okada's contract in New Japan?
Insane.
I don't see him losing.
Okada?
I don't see him leaving New Japan though.
I mean, I can see him making like not a long term, but like a little short term run, in the AEW.
I mean, I can see that, but I don't not with the Daniel Bryan and CM Punk.
But I was gonna say this though. Imagine whoever comes first. Let's say CM Punk comes first, right?
Daniel
Bryan comes first, and And instead of going after like one of the big dogs, they they crashed like a Young Bucks match, right? And Daniel Bryan announces he has a tag team partner coming at the next pay-per-view, and he wants to challenge them, right? And then introduce CM Punk. They connected somewhere after Daniel Bryan got basically excommunicated from the WWE lifestyle.
I would like that because I would like to see him be tag champs.
Yeah.
There's a lot of pictures of them together. I don't know if that's supposed to fuel the speculation, but I would like to see them be a tag team first before any other thing. But the interesting thing, which is why I don't think CM Punk would sign, but he's doing so much trolling that now I don't know if he is or isn't. But doesn't he still have that beef with Colt Cabana?
Kenny mentioned that the other night.
Yeah, so that's a very big deal.
And it's,
That's how they should introduce. Remember, they were like the closest of friends. So
yeah, as far as I know, Punk holds somewhat grudges a little bit sometimes. So I feel like if there's still beef there, why would he go there? Because he's gonna have to see him.
Well, of course. But I don't know. I mean, I'm speaking with the hope that they are going, you know?
Yeah.
Because ain't no point in talking if they're not. But
I think Daniels for sure. I think Daniels for sure.
I would say that's like a good like 75 to 80% for me.
The reason why I'm gonna say CM Punk, yes. I mean the big no for me is because of Colt. But the reason why I'm gonna say yes is because the two things you said, as long as there was a bag and it's fun, I can see him going. And it's definitely fun over there, and there's definitely a bag. But the third thing is he has been in that show with Stephen Amell, Heels, the wrestling show.
Yeah.
So that could have sparked some interest, like, oh shit, like maybe I could do this. Like I got a little bit left in me to do some shit.
I mean, his name is a draw.
And he has the fans. The fans are never going anywhere.
Like he can come out as like a Paul Heyman, like just like a mouthpiece to a big wrestler and just push the heel agenda, and it would still be one of the most fired things on TV.
I felt like they were gonna troll. I felt like he wasn't coming in to wrestle. I felt like he was probably coming in to commentate on Rampage or something.
I mean, Serena Deeb in there. That's Serena Deeb in there. We're gonna start the Straight Edge Society.
I mean, because he was commentating on the UFC.
Yeah. I mean, I can see him commentating for a couple weeks, and then someone is upset at what he says, and then attack CM Punk. CM Punk attacks back, and now we got a CM Punk
like
in a wrestling match.
Samoa Joe type shit.
Huh?
Like a Samoa Joe type shit.
Yeah.
Like I'm not coming in for this, but don't push me because it'll be a wrap.
Yeah, something like that. I wouldn't mind.
And then didn't what's his name? And then don't fuck me over because of this. But the guy that originally made the GTS, Kenta.
Oh, I can't think of his name. I know you're talking about.
Isn't it Kenta? He was in New Japan. Then he came to NXT. Didn't really do anything. Yeah. He left. I think went to New Japan. But then he popped up by AEW and put someone to sleep. Was it Kenny he put to sleep or John Moxley? He put one of them to sleep.
It was Mox.
We could get that versus CM Punk battle of the GTS.
Throw Sammy Guevara in there. Go to hell is the same shit.
So there you go.
Yeah.
So there's matches. So last question, so we can wrap it up for everyone to do their thing. I think JJ's on the side of 50-50. Me and Kenny are probably diehard AEWs right now, so we're gonna say no. But is AEW going too far with signing Daniel Bryan and CM Punk?
I think that's a bad faith thing. You'd be like, oh, they just keep signing WWE guys. They're TNA or WCW all over again. Which yes, we understand there's similarities, but the problems with those shows were the stories. And AEW's biggest strength is its stories. So I feel like that's just a bad faith thing. Yes, WWE is the biggest wrestling company in the world. Sometimes they let people go. A lot of times they let people go. Why would the next best wrestling company not? The same thing as what WCW is doing. They were throwing money at people with expiring contracts to steal them. AEW isn't stealing any talent; they're gaining them. I don't think you got one of the best wrestlers in the world sitting at home. Why not scoop them?
Yeah. JJ,
like I said, I love these signings. I was born into WWE. So seeing these guys wrestling guys that they would have never wrestled, you know, it's just dream match to me. Like you have CM Punk being able to take on Kenny Omega. Like imagine that possibility. Daniel Bryan, Kenny Omega. Just I love the signings. I just really hope they don't, you know, like leave people out. People who've been there from the beginning.
Yeah.
You know, people who are doing their dues and not just a name because they came from WWE. But I'm with it though.
I feel the same. Like I said, I think Tony Khan is such a historian that there's no way he's gonna f this up. Like, and like I said, it's only 2-3 years in. Like they're still figuring shit out. We got a new show, still doing the pay-per-view, still getting new belts, still trying to figure shit out. And just because AEW has talent there doesn't mean they're guaranteed to stay there. Like the new people, like maybe they're not great wrestlers. Like maybe it isn't for them to be a wrestler. So it doesn't mean that those young guys stay there. So there could be spots that still need filling up. So I have faith in Tony Khan. I think from what I've seen so far, like come on, he brought in Orange Cassidy. Like any other place where Orange Cassidy be a success, like in WWE,
I mean,
come on now. But he's like still over in AEW. If you can make someone like that over, and then like everyone, like I said, everyone they brought them in great spots. Big Show, Mark Henry, backstage, training people, doing what they're supposed to be doing. Christian Cage coming in. He's not taking anyone's killer spot, but he's giving us some good shit. He's mentoring a young boy, the Jungle Boy, like doing good shit. Matt Hardy, yeah, he has matches, but he isn't like a number one contender for the fucking AEW World Champ. You know what I mean? He's playing his position.
his stable bothers me.
Yeah, well, I mean, you can't have all fire stables. You know what I mean? So,
Facts.
but he's playing his position. He's still mentoring them as young dudes. You know, giving them the knowledge. Pac doing his thing with the fucking Death Triangle, crazy. Andrade coming in, playing his position. Like, so I think I haven't seen anyone come in like, come on, man, you fucked that up. Or come on, you rushed him too quick. Like even with Hangman Page, they played that shit for a year. And now we're finally here. Awesome storytelling. So I think as long as they keep to the formula and they try to hot shot shit, I think they're good money.
Feel that.
So I feel Daniel Bryan will be here and the New York show as rumored. CM Punk only makes sense to come out in Chicago. I would love to see AJ Lee come back, but you know.
Oh man.
I'd fucking pop.
I don't know what she has left in the tank. I don't know if she desires to do that, but that would be fire because that women's division is lacking. No disrespect, but AJ there.
They were picking up, but they've dropped off again. It's going crazy.
AJ there with a Britt Baker and maybe signing Ruby Rose would be crazy. Like there's so much potential there. So I'm for it. So I don't think they're fucking up. I think they're still doing good. So with that being said, you guys can tell us what you think. You can dislike this. You can like it. Tell us the comments. Subscribe. Do what you do. Patreon gang, Cash App gang. I'm the champ, so hit my theme music.
When I am that dude, you could be, but homie, you can't, and haters just won't let me continue doing me.